Okay, good morning. It is almost 9:29 Eastern Time, just a minute or so before the open. And I want to try to make this a real simple pre-market trading plan video. Today is Friday, October 21st, 2022. We're looking at the regular trading hours chart, and significantly, we closed yesterday below the 20 moving average, 20 simple moving average. It is right around settlement and everything from yesterday, I believe, right now. And, well, actually, that doesn't make sense if the close is down here. Anyway, I'll show you where it is in a second. But it's at 81-ish, and this is a critical inflection point. Again, it plays into what's going on today and how we want to look at things. You know, the worst case would be that it just goes back and forth between this a lot. But this is significant. This is a turning point, in my opinion, on really any time frame chart, is whether you're above or below the 20. And it can be very useful information. All right, so moving on. We are basically in a trading range here where you want to define the highs and lows, whether we popped out here and then you know, it got rejected back into it here. I kind of like that idea. I like it being from maybe here to actually, you know what? I like it from being from here to here. I'm gonna extend it. Okay, so right now we're back into this balance, and the idea would be to go to the other side of balance. Keep that in mind. I didn't really put that in the trading plan, which I'm going to pull in now. Excuse me. Let me move this out of the way. Let's look at our profile chart. So we were going to gap down. We opened in range below value, which I have as the first scenario. Right now we are potentially one-time framing up. You know, we got a long way to go before we take out the last period's low. So that's potentially in play because we had a big sweep a little bit ago where we had a small gap down, and you can see I'm not even sure what happened, but we came all the way from down here, especially in X period, where we had a big short covering rally, relatively speaking, all the way up to the contract VPOC. Then we traded way back, rejected back out, and we just opened now here, and we're moving back down. But if we don't stop one-time framing by taking out this low by 2 ticks, look for a move back to the upside. Or excuse me, if we don't take out this low by 2 ticks, that means we're not one-time framing. We might be one-time framing back up. So we'll see, and it looks like, see, there we go. We got to push back up. Is it going to continue? Possibly. Got to adjust this line. Now, this might be frustrating, and maybe this video doesn't get utilized by people because it comes in a little after the open, but it's not going to hurt to let things shake out a little bit. There's plenty of time and opportunity, and I'm telling that to myself. I do like to trade early. When I first got into trading, I was taught don't trade first hour, and I saw so many. At some point I got fed up with that, and I'm like, I'm going to learn how to trade the first hour, and I did. And it does take a bit more skill and execution, and both getting in and out, all that kind of stuff. All right, so the idea would be if we open in range below value and one time frame up after the open, so we're back through the open, to get on board for a move into the value area, take it in stages with Wednesday's value area low as well. Look for the 80% rule to the upside. Now, I want to show you something I've done here. So this says past 2 sessions value area low. This is including the Goldbeck session. I could have done it either way, but I just for time's sake, I just merged them all together. And we've got a new value area low, which is right next to settle. Now we're back in it. Hit the overnight value area high and pop down. So this might be a place to trade against. You're not going to get this in time to know, but we've got the value area low right here for yesterday. That's at 83.75. Okay, so we could take it in stages. Here, let me undo all merges here. All right, so we could come into prior day value area low up here, but then we've got the value area low up here, right? Which maybe something to trade against. Okay, even though that's been worked through. Notice there's volume distribution right here. There's the contract VPOC. Just maybe another thing to help measure risk, or where a good entry might be, to get a little confirmation if we're going to continue in that way. And don't forget, so once we get above the overnight high, there's still potential for a lot more short covering. Okay, look at this move down. You know, there's potential for a rally into the weekend here. May not happen right away. That's very important to remember that. It may happen later on. Very low confidence at the moment with back and forth this the overnight volume point of control and the open. As you can see, if we would have just would have gotten long on the idea, just boom, let's just stop into it. This would have been we would have been stopped out most likely. Okay, so back to the plans. Small gap down, continue developing. Okay, we didn't do the gap down, but we could still have potential for developing value below the value area low. Now that's a bit of a range here. That means all through here. Okay, so we want to watch for that. That are we gonna? And of course, if we do get up there, odds are high that we might come through here a little bit, maybe up to the overnight high or something. If we really start to have value, which would be overlapping to lower at this point, developing like that, then we want to watch for the counter move rejection from prior day's range. So the strategy might be to prairie dog the contract volume point of control, the overnight high, the prior low of day. And then again, remember that regular trading hours 20 simple moving average was currently at 36.81. At least it was when I last checked, but we don't need to check that right now, which is right here. Okay, so it's red line. So, you know, just watch it, right? Watch it. Because very often, and we've seen it play out since I've been talking about it, if you've watched these videos, we get one move in the first part of the day and a counter move in the latter part of the day. All right. Right now, I consider it a weak high because we're against the overnight high, against these prior lows. I mean, yes, we've traded through it, but it's an inflection point. Okay. All right. So next thing would be, again, I talked about this eyes on a merged profile of the last, just a moment, of the past two session, develop value above this value area low. So if we do start developing value, 3A would be, so I lose my cursor when okay, there it is. Get long and short against inflection points because it might just be stutter stop. You know, watch for one time framing higher, I should say. Put an H in there, or one time framing up. I'll use an H or an O. You know, one time framing U. OTFU is one time framing up. OTFL is one time framing lower. Could be, but I usually use U, I think. All right, so 3B would be rejection out of the merged. It's a typo. Merged value area, and find places to short against inflection points. Okay. So, you know, again, we're in an area of a lot of congestion. So there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of choppiness. This is like opening, you know, I mean, we aren't in range, but like a lot of times you open in range and value, you've got a lot of choppiness. So, you know, no shame in kind of hanging back a bit and kind of waiting things to get a little bit more confident where you know who's in control, because we want to be on the winning team, right? We want to be on the side that's in control. There's no well, I'm speaking as somebody who has to fight against doing this and being contrarian, but there's a lot higher risk in trying to go against who's in control. Now, on the small time frame, the price action is an auction back and forth. You got to think of price action as an auction. It's a smaller time frame auction, and we can exploit those moves. So there's that. All right. So moving on to the next thing. Another thing could happen today, and this is not exhaustive. I didn't cover everything. Slow tempo and rotate within the overnight range with pokes above and or below. Okay. At this point, the idea, whatever you use to trade against, the daytime frame references, intraday value area, high low, pivot points, moving averages on your time frame, whatever, trade responsively. What does that mean? It means you trade extremes, right? One step at a time. Just be on the lookout for a later morning or day initiating move, and trade that accordingly as well, up or down. Okay, so that's the morning. That's the plan for Friday, and I hope it's as big a. Well, I guess these ones, it'd be hard for all of them to play out, I think. I don't know. I got to think that through. But yesterday, all of them played out, and it was very successful. And you can have confidence that these plans are worth applying, either nebulously or, you know, it's not exact, right? But you got to kind of take these concepts and adapt them and mold them to the day's events. and price action and where it's trading and what's changed, right? So right now, the idea, I don't know what's going to happen. Very low confidence. We could get somebody step in here in the next, half hour and push it one way or the other pretty hard. But look, we're developing value below that merged value area low. Okay, rejection out of that value area. Does that mean go short? Well, if you get a chance, you might short the morning high. That's a thought. It's an idea. We'll see what happens. All right. Thank you very much, and maybe I'll see you later or tomorrow morning or Sunday morning or evening, whenever I do the recap. Thank you very much. Make a great day. Bye.